So the demon king Bali is coming out of his 1,000 celestial year contemplation, whereby he realized the dreamlike nature of things. It was indeed a wondrous state in which I remained for a brief moment. So 1,000 celestial years is just like a brief moment for the demon king. I shall continue to remain in that state. What have I to do with the affairs of the external world? Supreme peace and bliss reign in my own heart now. In the meantime, the demons rushed to where he sat. After looking at them, Bali continued to reflect thus: I am consciousness, and in me there does not exist any perversion. What is there for me to acquire or to abandon? What fun! I long for liberation, but who has bound me? When and how? Why do I long for liberation then? So he's having a little bit of a laugh at the notion of liberation. There is no bondage and no liberation. What shall I gain by meditation or by not meditating? Freed from delusion of meditation and non-meditation, let be what has to be. There is neither gain nor loss to me. I do not desire either meditation or non-meditation, neither joy nor non-joy. I do not desire the Supreme Being or the world. I am neither alive nor dead. I am neither real nor unreal. So he's no longer engaged in the cognitive process whereby things are sorted into dual notions. Salutations to myself, the infinite being. Let this world be my kingdom, I shall be what I am. Let this world be not my kingdom, I shall be what I am. What have I to do with meditation, and what have I to do with the kingdom? Let be what has to be. I belong to none, and none belongs to me. There is absolutely nothing that has to be done by what is known as me. Then why should I not do that action which is natural? Thus, having reflected, the king Bali turned his radiant gaze towards the assembled demons, even as the sun gazes upon a lotus. So there's no need to do anything. And realizing that, you don't need to make a point of not doing anything. And so you're free to get on with anything. And this is the conclusion that Bali has arrived at. Vasistha continued. King Bali thereafter ruled the kingdom, doing everything spontaneously without premeditation. He worshipped the Brahmanas, gods and the holy ones. He treated his relatives with deference. He rewarded his servants amply and gave in charity more than what they who sought it had expected. He fondly sported with the women folk. He was an asura. He was like a titan. He was somebody who could beat the gods, and that's quite relevant to the next section. The wish to perform a sacred rite rose in his heart. Quickly he assembled the men and materials needed for it. He conducted the rite in the appropriate manner. It was during this rite that Lord Vishnu, wishing to snatch the rulership of the three worlds from Bali and bestow it upon Indra, took the form of a dwarf and cheated Bali into giving away the rulership of the world to Vishnu in charity. There's different angles to this story, different slants. Here Vishnu, who is supposed to be the supreme deity from whom Brahma arose, is described as having cheated Bali. Earlier on, Bali was described as being ruler of the netherworld, but it seems that now he is the ruler of the three worlds, and Vishnu wants to snatch these three worlds back from him. And Vishnu takes on one of his classical avatar forms, that of Vamana the dwarf. And this rite that Bali is supposed to be performing was supposed to make him invincible. So the gods probably beseeched Vishnu to do something about this. And sometimes Bali is described as being arrogant and overstepping himself, although that's not how he comes across here. And in fact, he wanted to fulfill everybody's desires, and this is how Vishnu tricked him. He appeared as a dwarf, and the dwarf was a learned Brahmin, and Bali agreed that the dwarf could have anything he wanted. And the dwarf simply asked for as much land as he could encompass in 3 steps. Apparently Shukra appeared to Bali and realised the trick and told Bali not to grant this wish. But Bali wasn't going to go back on his promise, and he granted the dwarf his wish, and immediately the dwarf took on Vishnu's cosmic size and took 3 steps over the 3 worlds, the 3rd step being on Bali's head, and that way the 3 worlds were snatched from Bali. So I think there's a certain sympathy for Bali here. This might actually give some indication where the Yoga Vasistha was written, because in the south of India, Bali is actually quite popular. O Rama, this Bali will be the next Indra. Hence he dwells in the netherworld, to which he had been sent by Lord Vishnu himself, as a liberated and enlightened sage, awaiting the time when he shall rule the heaven. So this seems to be like some kind of consolation prize, that Bali will become the next Indra. He is totally unconcerned whether he is visited by prosperity or adversity. His consciousness does not experience elation or depression, in happiness or unhappiness. He has ruled the 3 worlds for billions of years, but now his heart is at rest. Once again he will rule the 3 worlds as Indra for a very long time. But he is not excited at the prospect of becoming Indra, nor was he depressed when he lost his position and was hurled into the netherworld. He welcomes whatever comes to him unsought, and is at peace within himself. Thus have I told you the story of King Bali, O Ram. Gain such a vision as he had, and enjoy supreme felicity. Abandon the desire for the essenceless and useless sense pleasure in this world. The attractive objects that tempt you here do not deserve your admiration any more than rock figures seen at a distance. Establish your mind, which flits from one thing to another, firmly in your heart. Establish your mind, which flits from one thing to another. That's the attention. And it says firmly in your heart. And as we've heard before, that simply means your essence, the heart of your being.